But let's look ahead then to today's action, shall we, in the Euros in the second day of the last 16. It all gets underway with the Netherlands against the Czech Republic. Denmark will be watching this one because they will play the winners of that one in the quarterfinals. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier on. And I was saying about Frank de Boer and how I feel like he must have convinced a few doubters, because there were a lot of criticism about his appointment, because people weren't totally convinced about the style of football that they would get under him. But actually, they've come through the group stages as the tournament's top scorers. I think they surprised a few, haven't they?
Well, I think you have to give a bit of credit to Ronald Koeman, because he
got them there.
He played a slightly different brand of football with Holland. They've always had exciting teams, Nat. You can't talk about Holland, but they've always had incredible, gifted players and very attack-minded. I felt, the massive difference in them is Gini Van Aldrum. I talked about him yesterday, because he's been given a far more attacking role within the Dutch team, and his relationship with Memphis Depay is brilliant. Dumfries has looked a real threat as well. They have a number of options that I think sort of grown in the last year or two. But I think Gini Van Aldrum's the big change for me in the Holland team. And they are playing a very front foot type of football. They are getting in, they're working their socks off, which sometimes they've been a little bit guilty of not matching the opposition without the ball. I think this team is trying to do that. Lots of good signs, and they've always had great players. So, there's some nations, Italy, Spain and many others, England in there. You get great players all the time. It's like a conveyor belt of top players, and the Dutch are no different.
And when you consider that they're playing in their first major finals since 2014, they didn't have a great 2012 Euros because they bowed out at the group stage. Then obviously didn't qualify for 2016 and for Russia 2018 in the World Cup. So in a way, for them to have qualified for this tournament and then, as I said, sort of ease through the group pretty much to come through as the group winners. It's been a pretty good tournament for them so far. But what about the Czech Republic? How difficult an opposition will they be?
Well, I thought against Scotland, they rode their luck a little bit, scored 2 great goals. And, we're talking about, Patrick Schick, a player that teams might want to look at, who's up by Leverkusen. I personally think he's a little bit lightweight. I think you can see there's a talented technical player there. The boys from West Ham, the 2 players that both have a massive impact into the team. I think they are just well set up, but I think they're a bang average side as well. I don't see a Czech, one time they had people like Pavel Nedved who were fantastic. I don't think they got that type of player in their setup. So it's a golden opportunity for the Netherlands to get past the Czech Republic team. I don't see too much. Quite a big side. So from set pieces, be careful, because, when sides are very dominant certainly in aerial ways, don't give too much away. Don't give free kicks, because Souček could easily get on the end of something. He's done it for West Ham regular, and he can do it for the Czech Republic as well. But be careful of, not giving too much away.
You've used bang average a couple of times. Who's more bang average, Germany or the Czech Republic?
I don't think there'd be a lot to choose from.
Really?
I mean, people keep telling me about Germany. I've seen every game of Germany this tournament, and I think they're as poor a German team as I've seen. I think they do have talented players, but they feel like they're a real bad mixture. They don't look like they complement each other. Josh Kimmich is a great player. Goretzka in midfield is a terrific midfielder. And they've got many others. Thomas Muller's been called back in. I think a central defensive position.
As Mats Hummels as well.
But they're slow. You can get in behind the 2 centre-halves.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And that's already happened in this tournament. I really feel Germany are there for the taking. This is not a Germany team that England should fear in any shape or form. You're at Wembley. Make sure you make it like a game that they're going to be intimidated and you press them. I think it's a golden opportunity for England. And like I said, it's a bang average German team.
Well, that's to come on Tuesday. Following the game, though, today between the Netherlands and the Czech Republic, it is Belgium-Portugal. Let's hear from Roberto Martinez.
Is the standards that they are expected in this national team. This is not a national team that it can turn up and see how the result goes. I think we made it very clear that we wanted to be a winning team, that we wanted to be a consistent group of players committed to the national team, and that's why we've been able to reach the number 1 spot in the FIFA ranking because of that consistency in our results over the last 3 years. But obviously that counts for nothing Tomorrow is tournament football. You have to adapt from what we did in the group phase. Now we're facing the third of another group, and as it happens to be, they are the European champions and they are Nations League champions. So it's a game that probably should happen a little bit further in the tournament. And that's probably the standards that they are expected. Every time the number one team in the world plays, expected to win. But probably the players that we have, they have that sort of expectation and pressure at club level. And I'm only glad, probably I lasted 5 years as a national team coach at such a, let's say, a young age for a coach, just because of that intensity, that pressure of having to win every game you go into.
It certainly is one of the standout ties in the last 16. Crikey, Cass. You win your group as comfortably as they did, Belgium. You're supposed to then get lesser opposition, but no, you've got the defending holders, Portugal. And if they get through that, then they've got Italy. It's quite, as we know, that half of the draw is such a difficult draw to be in.
Yeah, it is. And I like a lot of players in the Belgium team. I think Lukaku has grown again as a player. I think he's leads the line brilliantly. De Bruyne seems to be finding for fun in games. They've got, again, you can go through the whole team now. They're a lot of experience at the back, got a goalkeeper who plays for Real Madrid. Just all across, they've got top players, Belgium. So looking forward to seeing what they're going to be like. And I think the match-up against Portugal is a great game.
It is certainly going to be interesting. 8 o'clock, that one gets underway live here on talkSPORT. Before that, though, it's Netherlands, Czech Republic with kickoff for that one at 5. And that was a look ahead to the upcoming Euros action, brought to you by TradePoint, official sponsor of talkSPORT's coverage of UEFA Euro 2020.